Hello, making sense in the mad world. Thank y'all for tuning in. It's the reason why I was showing off my finger, because I'm a dad. I'm a very proud dad, father, parent, and I love my children, and I want them to have an equal opportunity in anything that they do in life, whether it be sports, and especially making sure that they have a fair childhood. Now in this video, I'm going to show a couple clips of some things that might be disturbing, but this is the world that we live in, the mad world that we live in. And, it could upset some people, but I ask y'all to just watch the video all the way to the end. It's a couple points that I'm making in here. And my main thing is this. It's the agenda that's going on. And I know that there's some things I'm going to talk about that are going to be divisive. And being divisive is not my intention. But just bringing awareness to something that's going on in our world is my clear intent. So watch this and y'all tell me if y'all think some of the things are fair.
That was the top time among biological girls, but third overall. The male who finished second in the race clocked in at 7.01 seconds. The new women's state champion, also a male, broke the all-time record for the event, finishing in 6.95 seconds, a time that would have earned that same runner 140th place in the men's 55-meter dash that year.
Transgender MMA fighter has said she wants a license to fight in California.
The biological male has just become the first transgender person to win a world title in cycling.
First transgender weightlifter winning her maiden international event as a woman.
A biological male winning a gold medal in a women's event now seems a matter of when, not if.
So you're just looking at that, right? And it's a couple other things. I'm going to put a couple video clips in this entire, video, because I wouldn't be making sense in this mad world if I didn't address this. And it's beyond me that we even have to address something so obvious. You know what I'm saying? And it makes me feel like there's an agenda, that's going on whenever this type of stuff is being promoted. And I don't know about y'all, but that shit, that's sick to me. It's very sickening, and it's not right, and it's not fair, okay? And that's why I feel like it's a whole agenda about this. And I'm gonna leave a link to something that I came across online, and it speaks about atrazine that's been added into some of the water supplies across the country, and the effects of atrazine. And I'm gonna just give you a quick little rundown. It's a hormone. Atrazine is a chemical that they put inside of water supplies that was leaked out of these plants, and they experimented on these frogs, and it was turning these male frogs into females. Okay, it was taking away the testosterone and increasing the estrogen in them. And just imagine what the effects are of this. And I feel like across the country, these people are feeling a certain type of way. Some of the LGBTQ community are that's the effects of this, and they don't quite know why. And the agenda overall, and always has been, depopulation, okay, because the world and the planet cannot sustain the current levels of our population, so to speak. I'm not a scientist. I'm just trying to make sense of all this that I see going on, and I'm gonna help y'all try to make some sense of it too. But getting back to the subject at hand, the physiology of a man and a woman are completely different. Now, look, I'm going to show some more examples from some videos. Check these out.
San Francisco in 2015 is now sweeping the land. This is where parents bring their young children to a public library to be read to by a drag queen. The public libraries, of course, are happily welcoming these events. In Minnesota's Hennepin County library system, these drag queen story hours now occur regularly. On October 17th, one such story hour was occurring in the Ridgedale Public Library in Minnetonka. The drag queen, who called herself Sasha Soda, walked in with high heels, a pink skirt, and a shirt t-shirt that exposed his midsection. According to an attendee, the drag queen strode suggestively past the children, sitting down in a chair before several preschool-age girls with his legs spread wide, exposing his nylon-covered crotch in front of the children, sitting at eye level. First off, why the double standard? In any other setting, if an adult exposed their crotch to children, they'd be in jail. Our politicians should get Drag Queen Story Hour out of the libraries. If that means cutting the library's funding, then so be it. It isn't just Sasha Soda who's problematic. A brief search of various Drag Queen Storytime performers reveals a consistent trend of both highly sexualized and ghoulish outfits. One performer, pictured, has about 5 white horns with red tips on his head. And don't for one second think that Drag Queen Story Hour will stop here. If left unattended to, Drag Queen Storytime will soon be in the public schools. It's also a mistake to think that this issue is confined to Drag Queen Storytime and not see the big picture. Across the country, child drag queens are a growing phenomenon. Desmond is Amazing is an 11-year-old boy who has received glowing media attention despite clear and convincing evidence that his parents are financially profiting from his exploitation. How on earth does an 11-year-old decide to be a drag queen without heavy adult manipulation? These child drag queens do suggestive shows in front of adult men in bars as the men sip their drinks and watch. Where is Child Protection Services? Speaking of children being influenced by adults, there's also a growing trend of young children being given life-altering hormone blockers at an early age. The latest example of this is 7-year-old James Younger, which is only a public controversy because his father doesn't want to give the 7-year-old hormone blockers. Never mind the fact that the results are in an early treatment of gender dysphoria, to the extent it even could exist in a young child without an adult manipulating the child, has a terrible track record. It's unnecessary because children grow out of their dysphoria, and it's incredibly damaging because of the terrible and life-changing side effects that often ensue. Common adverse reactions include severe joint pain, like the type you experience when you're 80, but actually when these kids are in their early teens, and severe depression. Part of the story is a growing acceptance of transgenderism, which is the left's next...
I don't know. It's, again, this shit, it just blows my mind that y'all can't see how this is not fair. I don't want to be divisive, but obviously, you know, something like this is going to be divisive because there's some other people on the other side, you know, that feel strongly, you know, against how most logical people are thinking, you know, and I really do feel like it's agenda based, and that's why I feel like it's being pushed on our children so much, and it's actually being, you know, normalized in our society, and it's frustrating to me, you know, that people aren't able to see through this. And I'm not one to sit up here and say, oh no, I hate, you know, queers and lesbians and dykes, whatever. I got plenty of friends that are on that side that love who they love, you know, and, you know, some of them are, you know, pretty healthy situations. And some of them aren't so much. I see a lot of toxicity in that, but it's toxicity in man and women relationships as well. So it's going to come. But as a heterosexual man, you don't see me going around like, oh, I love pussy and women, blah, blah, blah. You know, we ain't got to do all that. Just love who you love. You ain't got to be switching up and, you know, getting all weird with your voice and doing all that extra stuff. Just love who you love. And let's stop putting it on our kids. And if you haven't seen all the sexual innuendos and all this stuff that's been promoted in kids' cartoons these days, then you're not really looking at what's going on, okay? Because it's happening. I don't even let my kids watch some of that bullshit. I don't even watch TV no more, you know, and it's for a reason, because that agenda is being pushed hard, and it's for a reason. So, I mean, I'm going to show you.
Look, they giving them fucking money, yo. Little girls now. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. And fucking throwing money at these little girls. Got them picking up fucking money off the floor like they fucking strippers and shit.
World out there, and not everyone's accepting of things, and some people have criticized you. What do you say to them?
It's fine.
Well, we're all excited to have Jasmine here, so thanks.
It's got some pens, it's got a little notepad. Note, I want you to journal everything that you do because you truly are very brave and courageous. And let me give you this.
Lactatia.
Latasha? You're fucking adorable, Latasha. And is this your first time in drag?
Not really.
Latasha, I was you as a child. I'm covered in your cheap wig hair, Latasha. Listen, girl, to be honest, gonna get you a good lace front, bitch. One that's gonna look good in HD, because these bitches are 9, girl. Big round rubber bands over their foreheads. So, Latasha, you've been doing drag a while. And you're here with us tonight. And who is your favorite drag queen?
Ginger Min.
And I mean, I don't have to stress out about this subject no more that much, because it's plainly obvious to see that these men should not be participating in setting records in women's sports. And oh my God, in another incident, and I believe it was like 2 or 3 of these incidents happened where a boy won prom queen at their high school. Now that is some bullshit. Imagine what it does to the confidence of those young ladies who were trying to get prom queen. You know, born a woman, you know, born a girl, you know, and a boy wins prom queen. Little boy wins prom queen. Now it was on more than one occasion that this happened, but this is just a small example. Y'all could look it up. It's not fair. You know, their confidence is afflicted, and you know, I'm very much aware that a lot of these people who make this transition from man to woman and woman to man end up wanting to kill themselves and having a lot of suicidal thoughts going on. And it's a hormonal imbalance, and a lot of them have regrets. I'm gonna show you this website real quick that y'all can check out. Here goes that website, sexchangeregret.com, and it's a wealth of information on this site that you could just check out. There's some medical professionals on here that you could just look up. But yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's wild to me. Involved in these sports are such a low percentage in the world, so why is there so much attention being paid on it? Paid into it. Is that really it? We got to think, y'all. These motherfuckers are smart, and they'll find any way to devise us, whether it's over your sex, your race, your political status, your economic standing, wherever you may be. But we still got to find a way to come together and keep them boys out of these women's sports.
Protect fairness in women's sports. We believe that it's important to have integrity in the competition, and we think it's important that they're able to compete on a level playing field. And you've seen what's happened when you don't have that.
He was, again, referencing that incident in Connecticut there. The governor said in Florida, girls are going to play girls' sports and boys are going to play boys' sports.
And we're speaking on boys and girls. They are children. And this is the biggest aspect to this whole video, is why are y'all allowing your kids to make such a critical decision at such an early, influential time in their lives? They don't even know who they are yet. Can we put an age limit on that? And it'll stop all the bullshit, okay? And stop exposing them to all this trash all over TV. Power to the people.